All right, so on number 8, what did you come up with for the answer? Somebody said G. What else did you come up with? Somebody said F? No? What else did we come up with? Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at it because this type of equation or this type of problem actually is going to be on your SAT. So the first thing that we're going to notice is 2 times 3. What is that going to give us? 6. Okay, so it's definitely not going to be J or F. Okay, so then we're going to look at our variables. Okay, we can multiply our variables. X to the 4th times x to the 5th. When we multiply variables, what happens to our exponents? You add the exponent, so that's going to be x to the 9th, right? Okay, so that takes out k, and that leaves us with J, G, or H. Now, wait. Okay, so then we're going to multiply our y's. So we've got y to the 1st power times y to the 8th power. So that means that we're going to add our exponents together. So what's 1 plus 8? 9. So that's going to give us our answer as being H. Okay? Which of the following is equivalent to 4x to the 2nd power raised to the 3rd power? What'd you come up with for this one? Somebody said G. Somebody said K. Somebody said... Okay? So what we're going to notice is that we've got these parentheses and we got this 3 on the outside. So what's 4 to the 3rd power? 64. So that's going to go ahead and take care of H, J, and K. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to raise x to the 2nd power, and we're going to raise that to the 3rd power. What do we do with our exponents when this happens? We're going to multiply them together. So what's 2 times 3? 6. So what is our answer going to be?
I got it right.
G. Zach, you got it right.
I have a question.
All right, so we're going to talk about logarithms, and we're going to talk about exponents. Back in Algebra 1, okay, back in Algebra 1, your teacher would have something like this on the board. And she would say, what is the answer to question mark? So she'd have 3 to the 4th power equals question mark. And you would go to your calculator and you would type 3 to the 4th power. And then what would you tell her? 3 to the 4th power gives me what?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm not. Question mark would give me 81, right? Yeah? Like that's what Algebra 1 was about. Now, if she said 3 to the x power equals 81, you would tell her what? X would equal 4, right? Okay? So there's a way to write this a little bit differently, okay? And it's something using logs. Now, if you look on your graphing calculator and you look on the left-hand side and you go a little bit down on the left-hand side, like it's maybe the 6th button on the left hand, there's going to be this thing called log, right? That's going to help us solve these kind of equations quickly, okay? So the way to write this is to write log of 3 of 81 equals 4. So what I want you to do is just write this down. Okay, so this right here, this 3 is our base. This 81 right here is our power. And this 4 right here is our exponent. I would label those on your paper. So again, back in that Algebra 1 class, you were introduced to this equation, this y equals a times b to the x power, right? And your teacher told you that b was your base. Okay? And x was your exponent, and y was your power. And that's what your teacher told you, right? Hopefully. Okay? So let's say, for instance, you had 5 to the x power equals 25, okay? You would quickly tell me that x would equal 2, right? Like, that's what you would tell me. However, we could rewrite this a different way to help us solve. So we would write this as log of 5 of 25. We would set that equal to x, okay? And of course, I'm going to show you in just 1 second how to plug this into your calculator, but I want you to be able to write it in this format, okay? That is easy, okay? And normally you're not going to have to use log for that one. But now, if we had 5 to the x power equals 23, that makes it a little bit difficult, right? So we would write log of 5 of 23 equals x, right? Now, the way to put this into your calculator is you're going to take the log of this number right here, so log of 23, and you're going to put it over the log of 5. This is called the change of base formula. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later. Yep. So, this is called the change of base formula, where you're going to take the log of the power, and you're going to put it over the log of the base. Okay? So, when you type this into your calculator, it's going to look like this. You're going to say log of 23 over the log of 5. For 3, we have 5 to the x power equals 125. So first we're going to put this in log form, and then we're going to type it into our calculator. Now, we could probably do this in our heads, but we want to get that practice in. So in order to write this in log form, we're going to say log of base 5 of 125 equals x. Okay? In order to put this into your calculator, the way you're going to type it in is you're going to say log of 125 in parentheses over log of 5. Okay? So, with my calculator, I'm going to say log of 125, I'm going to close the parentheses, divided by log of 5, close parentheses, is 3. Where did I get the 5 from? Look at this right here. 5's right here. That's my base, right? As well as I put it right here. Now we have log of base 2 of 32 equals x, okay? And so we're trying to solve for the exponent in this one. So the way we're going to write this out is we're actually going to put it in exponential form. So we're going to get 2 to the x power equals 32. Okay? The way I memorize how to write these out is actually like this little circle. So what you always do is you always start at your base, you write your exponent, and then you write the last number. Okay? It's like a swoop. Okay, a shell, a J. Okay, so we're going to...
Sled, whatever they say.
Are you? Okay.
Christmas thing?
So a shell or like a little candy cane looking thing. Okay? Just let me have my life. Okay, so we're going to start at the base. We're going to go to our exponent. And then we finish with our power over here. Okay? So that's how you write it in exponential form. Okay? So you write your base. You write the exponent, which is x. And then you write this number over here. We haven't solved for it yet. We are just putting it in exponential form. So, if we were going to solve, what we would do is we would use this log form, right? We would say log of 32 over log of 2. What does that give me? So, let's look that up in our calculator. We're going to type log of 32 over the log of 2. So what is that going to give me? 5. And we know that if we plug 5 into this equation right here, that 2 to the 5th power is 32, right? Okay? So when we write this, we're going to put this in exponential form. So we're going to start at that 4. We're going to go to our y, and then we're going to write our 1, right? So 4 to the power of y equals 1. Okay? If you wanted to solve this, because if you didn't know this off the top of your head, you would plug it into your calculator by saying log of 1 over the log of 4. What does that give you? 0. And we also know that anything raised to the 0 power is 1. I don't know why I wrote is equal to 1, but there it is. Okay? That is a exponent rule that you need to know. Anything raised to the 0 power equals 1. Anything raised to the 0 power equals 1. Anything raised to the 0 power equals what? Oh, okay. So, make sure that you know that. Okay, so on that next page, we've got log of 6 of 36 equals 2, right? Okay, so the way to write this in exponential form is we're going to take 6, we're going to raise it to the second power, and we're going to set it equal to 36. So 6 to the second power equals 36, which we know is a true statement, right? Okay, so let's look at number 2. On number 2, it says log of 289 of 17 equals 1/2, right? So the way to write this in exponential form is to take 289, raise it to the 1/2, and set it equal to 17. So 289, raise it to the 1/2, set it equal to 17. If you plug that into your calculator, you're going to get 17, right? Number 3, yep. Number 3, we've got log of 14 of 1 over 196 equals -2. Okay, so the way to write this is to take 14, raise it to the negative second power, and set it equal to 1 over 196, which, again, we know is correct if we plug it into our calculator. The last one is going to be log of 3 of 81 equals 4. So we're going to take 3, raise it to the 4th power, and set it equal to 81. Okay? So that is how you go. That is how you go from log to exponential form. Log to exponential form. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at number 5. Try 5 through 8, writing it from exponential back into log form. Okay? 5, we're going to write this in log form. You can still use that whole shell candy cane method. You're going to start here, go here, and then go to your exponent. So what I mean by that is I'm going to say log of base 64 of 8 equals 1/2. Look at that. That's crazy. All right. Looking at number 6. On number 6, we have 12 to the second power equals 144, right? We're going to start at our base, go to our power, and then go to our exponent. So we're going to have log of 12 of 144 equals 2. Looking at number 7, we're going to have 9 to the negative second power equals 1 over 81. So we're going to start at 9, go to our power, then go to our exponent. So log of 9 of 1 over 81 equals -2. And number 8, we've got 1 over 12 to the second power equals 1 over 144. So we're going to start at that one, go to there, and finish our exponent. So log of 1 over 12 of 1 over 144 equals 2. Okay?